Australian High Commissioner to Fiji, Ms. Sandra, Representative UN Women Fiji Multi-Country Office, Permanent Secretaries, members of the Diplomatic Corps, senior government officials, distinguished representatives of regional organizations and our women organizations, invited guests, sorry I forgot my permanent secretary and my assistant minister, and of course the team from women who have so successfully put up this program this morning for us to celebrate not only the International Women's Day, but today we launch our Women in Resilience in Disasters. I was also caught with the presence of the Police Commissioner. Commissioner, you have a big role to play in looking after the welfare of our women and children, and I must commend you for the work that you do. Nisamula Vinaka, and a very good morning to you all. It is a great pleasure for me to join you as we celebrate International Women's Day 2022 with the official launch of the Fiji Women's Resilience to Disasters Program, an initiative of UN Women. Today, internationally, women are celebrating, men and women both, countries, societies, communities are celebrating women's achievements. And as we move forward in fighting for gender parity, so I must start by saying that while we are celebrating International Women's Day, our thoughts are with the women and children in a war-torn Ukraine, women who are losing lives, families, women who are saving lives, women who have lifted guns to be soldiers for their beloved nations, women who have stood firm against the tyranny, women who still find means to feed their families, and women who are investing in protecting their nation and loved ones. These are the women in Ukraine right now. And of course, we can say they are the true representation of who every woman is: strong, nurturing, brave. These women of Ukraine are the personification of the saying, when the going gets tough, the tough gets going. And these women we should be proud of, and we have everything to learn from that. And like in every situation and hardship, it's us, it's the women who get things going. So let's congratulate ourselves for being women, and as women, let's stand up for other women. Because we make half the world's population, 3.9 billion women in the world today, yet we are fighting for gender equality. 49% of Fijian population is women. In the Pacific, it's the same story. So why is there a fight? Because something is wrong somewhere. So let's keep the fight going. Let's not give up because we are strong. Let's not anything dampen our way to fighting for that gender equality that we want. If it's a dream, we pray that one day the world achieves gender equality, no matter what the issues are. So I'd like to extend my appreciation to the Government of Australia. Thank you, Excellency, for your generous funding assistance towards this program, as well as other financial support to many ongoing programs and initiatives that promotes gender equality and women's economic empowerment in Fiji and the Pacific. We thank you for that. Ladies and gentlemen, as we commemorate International Women's Day, we also reflect the deep impacts of disasters and COVID-19 on women and girls around the globe and here in the Pacific as well, and in Fiji. Research data and reports by international organizations like the UN agencies, including UN Women, our crop agencies at the regional level, and national women's organizations and CSOs, have increasingly highlighted the differentiated, often more severe impacts of disasters on women and girls. There's no doubt about this. The pandemic, of course, has exacerbated these risks. Women's caregiving roles and domestic duties have greatly increased due to COVID-19 restrictions. And during lockdowns, women and girls have reported having an increased expectations from communities and societies to meet the gender roles, of course, with increased domestic work burden compared to men. And this is compounded by other ongoing responsibilities such as work from home, along with establishing study routines for our children during the COVID crisis. COVID-19, TC Herald, TC Yasa, among other cyclones categories have severely affected Fijians' short and long-term resilience, and many Fijians have resorted to detrimental coping strategies such as reduction in the food intake, barter of assets, and reduction of expenditure on health and education. And that is a reality. Some of us may have gone through that, our communities may have gone through that. And how do you find solutions to that? Families have shifted back to villages in Fiji, to the islands, and this urban to rural drift has further stretched the constrained services in rural areas. 63% of health workers and 85% of market vendors in Fiji are women. And the increased risk of exposure to infection places them and their loved ones at risk. As yet, we also know that women are powerful agents of change. And we've seen that in our homeland during COVID, how resistant women were to this pandemic. Their leadership and active participation is key to achieving greater equality and sustainable development outcomes. This year's IWD theme, Gender Equality Today for a Sustainable Tomorrow, very apt, is therefore very timely and pays homage to the collective efforts of women and girls in addressing the increasing complexities of disaster response and recovery, including COVID-19, as well as the greatest challenge of our time, the climate crisis, and paving the way for a more equal and resilient future. You will see a short video that has been presented, and that will actually highlight to you the challenges, the difficulties that women face in terms of disasters. And when I first saw it, I asked the question, where are the men? And I think that's the same question you will ask when you will see how women prepare for natural disasters. Because in the Pacific and Fiji, I think we women are left to look after the motherly roles, the caregiver role. So the video highlights some very critical aspects of women in terms of developing resilience towards disasters. And it's not easy. So, it is apt that we are launching this new Women's Resilience to Disaster program today. And the Fijian government maintains a strong commitment to advancing the rights of and interests of women and girls, ensuring they have the opportunities to flourish in all aspects of their development. Of course, achieving gender equality and social inclusion in the context of climate change and disaster risk reduction requires a whole of society and a whole of government approaches. In support of this direction, our key policies and strategies, including Fiji's 20-year National Development Plan, the National Climate Change Policy, National Disaster Risk Reduction Policy, and the Climate Change Act of 2021, all have a strong focus on gender and social inclusion. At the end of last year, we also produced a milestone initiative, the Ministry's National Action Plan to Prevent Violence Against All Women and Girls, commonly known as NAP. And this recognizes the impact that gender-based domestic violence has on women's well-being and economic participation. Of course, you are all aware of the statistics related to domestic violence in Fiji. It's something that we are not proud of, but it's something that we acknowledge head-on, that we have a problem, and it's something that we need to find solutions to. And NAP, I hope NAP is going to give us that solution that we are looking for. And, so we are pleased for the first time that the Pacific Island country, as a Pacific Island country, to launch a national action plan. And only one of only two countries globally, which includes Australia, Fiji is also one of the first countries to sign the International Labour Organization Convention 190 on Violence and Harassment in the World of Work. We are also at finalizing the Fiji country gender assessment and supporting the rollout of the gender transformative institutional capacity development across all government agencies with specific focus on gender responsive budget. Of course, resources, funding plays an important role in trying to progress with our work in terms of gender equality and the rest of it. So funding, resources, technical assistance is very much needed for that. So this will allow us in Fiji to have a more gender responsive budget, and I was very happy with the fact that in terms of the mini budget, women and girls of the country were called out by the Minister of Economy to give their views on what they expect in the mini budget. So that's some good news for us. Of course, ultimately, the impact in terms of improving lives and livelihoods of women and making them more resilient lies in translating our national policy and international commitments into concrete and transformative actions and programs at the national level. This is exactly what the Women's Resilience to Disaster, this program that we are launching today, has been designed to achieve. And the reason why we are so grateful to be one of the 3 countries in the Pacific piloting this new initiative, the first for Fiji. Through the development of a comprehensive country work plan, the Fijian government will have a clear pathway to guide the ministry's work with other key government agencies like the NDMO and Climate Change Division of the Ministry of Economy in partnership with the UN Women to strengthen gender consideration and the inclusion of vulnerable groups and people with disabilities. Many a times they are forgotten, but we need to be socially inclusive. We need to include all groups. And hopefully come with reduction policies and strategies and plans and actions. It's very important. We plan a lot of things. We are good at planning, but we really need to implement it, we really need to execute it, and we really need to monitor it. And that will show us the success of any program. Availability and access to equality, sex disaggregated data and gender statistics, as well as tools and knowledge products, is a critical gap of this program here. So as we look forward to engaging and supporting our women's organization and CSO partners to work at the country community level through this program, we are also building resilience from ground up, with looking at grassroots communities. That's very important. And I'll leave that with that. I cannot emphasize enough the importance of working in partnership, working in collaboration with all our partners and the ministry and the government. As we've said all the time, we cannot do things alone. We need a whole of stakeholder engagement. And pursuing gender equality and building resilience to women and girls and marginalized groups requires a whole of society. That's why we have a whole of society participants here. We haven't left out anybody. So we want to hear voices, we want to train, we want to create awareness with every level within our society. So ladies and gentlemen, there's a lot that you'll be hearing from other programs organized today. But with us, I'd like to conclude by acknowledging and thank the UN Women Fiji Multi-Country Office, the collaboration in collaborating us for this launch this morning. We value your partnerships and will continue to look forward to working with you. And this morning, I was just doing a short recording for one of the groups, and there's something that caught my attention. When I said that, I didn't realize what I was saying, but when I thought about it, then it struck me. Why are we celebrating Women's Day? That's the question. Why? Why we don't celebrate Men's Day? I don't know. But we are equal. Equal in population, we do jobs as equal as them. It has to do a lot with culture and mindsets. And I think changing mindsets, culture is strongly embedded in our countries, etc. But it's a mindset. If we start seeing each other as being equal, working together, it's not about competition. Gender equality is not a fight, not a competition with men. We don't want to compete with you. We just want what is ours, equally, side by side. So one thing that I realized was that nations have failed their women. Communities have failed their women. The world has failed their women and girls. Our families have failed our women and girls. Our spouses, our partners, they have failed. So it's time to re-look at how we see gender equality. How do we change mindsets? A lot of things have been done, but when we look at the progress that we have made, I'm sorry to say, we haven't made much progress. During the mention of CSW, Commission on the Status of Women, every country discusses problems. Every country has some issues related to gender. We can't say no country is having gender parity. Domestic violence tops it. The discussions at our round table, gender-based violence tops it. If we can find a solution to that, and that has to be a mindset change. That's why I acknowledge the Commissioner of Police. The police force has a role to play, right? And So, sorry, I don't want to say much, otherwise it will be very controversial. But every participant in this room, you have a role to take the message out there that the fight for gender parity will continue. It is a fight that we cannot give up. And the best way to start it, the fight is within our own homes. Within our own homes, our children. I must say children, but children are the best agents of change. Their generation must grow up learning respect. They must grow up learning that the sisters and everybody is equal. And parents' role is to teach the children. Many a times that teaching is left to the education system. That teaching. But we must always fulfill our roles as the first teachers of our children. Then maybe we will be able to bring about a generational shift in the change in the mindset. But till then, we will continue to fight. Please keep up the good work. And once again, I'd like to wish you all a very, very happy International Women's Day. But Women's Day should be every day. Let's celebrate, let's respect, let's appreciate, let's see and let's hear the woman every single day. Women supporting women, very important. Men working in partnership, very important. And of course, the voices must be heard. Many times we think women's voices are not heard. It could be true. Many times it could be true. But we have to keep talking. We'll have to keep talking. We'll have to keep smiling. We'll have to keep fighting. We'll have to keep dreaming. Otherwise, it's a lost cause. Right? So thank you. Let's all be positive today. And the next video that we're going to watch will give you a better insight on why and how women are affected by climate crisis and why we need to develop resilient communities. So thank you, and God bless you all.